What's happening, Commotion Podcast family, and welcome back. Listen, thanks to you guys, last week was our most popular episode yet, and it is still climbing. This week, we're switching it around and welcoming comedian Zach Assad into the Commotion Podcast studios. But before we do, we really have to take a moment. We'll take a moment of silence for those families that are grieving and for those lives that are lost in Nashville. It's an unfortunate thing, so please share this moment with us. And as always, we got to give a shout out to my man Brad at Sport Around Trophies and Awards. He always hooks up the guests with custom tumblers, as well as the crew here at the Commotion Podcast Studios. If you need anything engraving, awards, plaques, anything like that, reach out to him via phone at 540-613-1892 or on all social media platforms, Sport Around Trophies and Awards. Let's get to this show, guys. Take your hats off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh boy, Zach is in the house. Good, my friend. Thank you so much for making it out, bro.
No problem.
I see you've been busy. You know, you got something tomorrow night, so you squoze us in tonight. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, this is a really good week for comedy. Actually, Sharky's blessed us with their upstairs on Tuesday nights once a month. And so we had that last night. We had Sharky's Comedy Madness, had the Elite Eight of local comics come out, and was lucky enough to get blessed with a guy known as the King of Roanoke Comedy. I actually got to see the Johnny Camacho, the King of Roanoke Comedy. Shout out to him for coming down. He runs Roanoke Comedy Festival, and he came out and closed out the show last night. And tomorrow we got another killer lineup, and Bull and Bones has been our bread and butter every 2 weeks. They are the first place that I ever got up and I was like, I can do this. It feels good here.
Shout out to Robbie Hockett, right?
Yeah,
man. He's the one that suggested Derek to come on, and he also mentioned your name, and I was like, man, thank you so much, because unfortunately I haven't gotten out to any I want to do it. I love comedy. I absolutely love it. I have delusions of doing it, but I think everybody does until they get up there and they realize they are terrible. But you know what I mean?
Hey, you're terrible at everything until you're good at it,
That's true. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where are you from? How's your mom and them, all that?
Man, I'm from this real big town called Ironto, down down the hill from Christiansburg.
Rest stop down there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about it.
I like that.
We're about to get a Love's truck stop in there. We're going to go high class.
So I saw the blueprints. Have you seen it? They've actually released that. It's going to be a truck stop.
That's nice, because forever we've had that, that gas station with a second story on it, which I've never seen the second story, but they say it's immaculate.
Yeah, it's nice. It's pristine.
Yeah. That's why they're going to tear it down and put a good one.
Yeah. It's held the test of time.
Yeah, we're going to get an Arby's in there too, and I think that's going to really change the landscape.
I think it's going to change the physical size of people in Ironto.
Yeah, that's more or less what I meant. Like
round the population out. Probably, honestly, kill off a couple of them. I'm sorry, but that cheese sauce is to die for, though, dude.
It will. Yeah, if we're gonna test it out here in a couple of months.
So between that and the au jus sauce, I think that's how you say it. You drip them shits in there. It's like a liquid heart attack, bro. Well, congratulations, man. I hear that's good.
And I went to Eastern Montgomery, and other than that, I don't have much of a story. I've just kind of worked, and then one day, like you said, I had dreams and aspirations of doing music back in the day. Never could sit down with a guitar for long enough to make it talk to me.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, hey, wait a minute, I'm funny. And then I was like, I'm really funny.
That's good. Be confident, man.
Yeah. And there was what was the name of the spot in Blacksburg that when I was in middle school, like late elementary. It was Attitudes Barn.
Yeah. Back in the back, right? In the back parking lot. Was that it, right?
I have no idea because I was a wee little lad.
Okay, I got
But I
you.
heard the ads on TV. It was like stand-up comedy every Wednesday.
Oh.
And so I was like, my aunts and uncles would go.
Okay.
And I was like, y'all got to take me. And they were like, dude, you're 12. Come on. You watch the TV a little bit.
Yeah.
And eventually, I never made it, but eventually I heard that there was the comedy nights around here. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I start doing some math. We're still doing it. It's still happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, boom, I was in it and doing it. And
So how did you like write kind of a blueprint, or did you just have jokes you wanted to tell and you knew it? How did it work for you?
it's hard to tell the formula.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, it was so bad, I tried to forget everything that ever happened.
Yeah.
Just like leaving a bar crying because nobody could even hear me because I wasn't speaking into the mic correctly, stuff like, I had bad jokes because I push a certain boundary. And
Sure.
so early on, there was a lot of rough ones that people were like, yo, that is not funny. And I was like, come on, guys, come on. Just
To me,
love
some of the funniest jokes, you're kind of like, it's like Jeselnik, it's got that twist and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, that's me. It's like, it's not for everybody. And so if I'm showing up to what it was early on, I was showing up to open mics that were dudes that are playing guitars and chicks that are reading poetry.
Sure.
And so dudes that are playing guitars are going to laugh at it, but they're not going to laugh really hard because the chicks reading poetry, they're hoping to have sex with.
Yeah. So they're like, is she going to laugh? If she laughs, then it's on.
And I could tell like early on, I was like, if I could get that, I was good.
Okay.
And then eventually I got hooked in with the Virginia Tech Comedy Conglomerate over the summer.
Okay.
But it was known as Comedians Gone Rogue. Shout out to Catherine. She ran that, and she's a name that I recommended to have on here.
Yeah, man, we got to get connected with her and some of those other folks, man.
But she was running basically, it wasn't an open mic, but it was strictly comedy. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I can't go to an open mic and do my comedy. And she's like, well, judging by the way you're shaking, you can't come here and do it either. And I was like, well,
I'm nervous.
She said, I'll give you a shot one time.
Yeah.
If the people here think you're funny, you're all right.
Yeah.
And I was about at the end of my rope.
Okay.
And Jordan Bishop was there.
Okay.
And he's another name. He saved me because everybody else in the room hated me.
Oh.
But he was like, dude, all those lines, they're great. They're super funny, you can't stop. You got to figure out something.
Yeah.
He's like, hold the mic close to your mouth and, stop shaking.
Let's figure the shaking out.
I was like, oh, man, there's no deer around here. There's no fucking, what is it? What's going on with me?
Yeah.
And then one time it just like, after doing it 10 times, 12 times, 15 times, maybe 115 times.
Yeah.
One set at Bull and Bones just
it clicked and you just felt it.
And that was after that. I've been nervous.
Yeah.
But when I get on stage, it's just, I sit down like on a chair just like this. And
yeah. That's the best when it becomes like you don't think about it.
Yeah.
You just start talking.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I enjoy doing these and not learning too much about the people up front so that I can learn about you and be genuine while we're talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm like, if I know you already, it's a different thing. But like I used to do all the research and stuff, but now I'm just kind of like, nope, I want to talk to you like for the first time, really right here, minus the welcome email that I send you.
Right.
And stuff like that.
Well,
but,
good news.
Hey, you want a drink real quick, man? I'm going to pour you one.
I don't.
You drink much?
Not much, but I'll do one since I'm here.
You can just scissip it. This is just Rittenhouse. This is a nice little rye. Just nip on it. There you go, my friend. Yeah, buddy.
Thank you.
Yep. So Boiling Bones, when was the time where you felt like, I was like, this is it for me. This is what I want to do. Did it click? Was it around about the times you stopped having tremors?
I don't know, because I still have tremors. Like, I've started producing instead of just showing up and performing.
Yeah.
So now I have gone to Sharky's, like I said before. The first time we did Sharky's, I think we did 197 people in the door.
That's great, man.
And it was like, I had never seen it before. And the mic was horrible. The mic kept getting feedback. And
that's the worst.
I had some tremors that night. But,
like, is it visible? Like you're talking? Is it like bad?
Sometimes Parkinson's kind of runs in my family.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if this is like me, just like early,
like a precursor.
Like when I get nervous, it just hits. But I have found a couple of folks around with my same last name that have
Parkinson's.
Yep.
No shit.
Yep. So,
well,
I don't know if that's it.
How can you find that out? I guess you could do blood tests, right? Right? I don't know how that shit works.
Dude,
wait it out, bro. Just wait it out.
I'm a hippie. Like, if they want to do blood tests on me, they're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands.
You want some blood? Try to cut me.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Come and take it.
So you were talking about the what was it? The Virginia Tech Comedy Club type, or is it a group?
Comedy conglomerate.
Okay.
They are a top-notch group of students over there.
Okay.
And all they do at their meetings is workshop jokes and be silly.
That's fun, man.
We've showed up there a couple of times. One time was Halloween night, and we showed up, and we were filming a YouTube video with a camera, and we were all dressed up, and they're like, what the hell's going on? It's like, well, we're having fun. We're being silly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I've actually got to connect those guys. The president, Sage DeLong, shout out Sage. She's great young lady that very, very funny. I've actually got to connect them with like Philly comics and stuff.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Robbie has given us the ability to actually book some comics that are actually moving some tickets and bring them down here to Virginia.
So I was going to ask, like, here in the area, how is the circuit for touring comedians? Are there like go-to spots?
No, there's nothing.
Damn.
There's nothing. If I don't go to a door and knock on it for 3 months,
yeah,
nobody's like, yeah, stand-up's a good idea.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with breweries that, excuse me, will be like, hey, can you do a clean show? And I was like, man, I sent you clips.
I talk about my penis.
Yeah, I sent you clips 6 months ago, and it was, 3 minutes of dick material.
Yeah.
2 minutes pussy. And we were out, you know. But
so no.
Yeah, I don't do clean. People around here have started producing clean shows, but man,
that's got to be hard.
It's tough.
That's like, John Christ is good at what he does. I think he's funny for that genre. Obviously, I've met John. He dated one of the people I was touring with and met him in New York City. Genuine, nice human.
Right.
I feel like a damn or shit has to pop out of a human every now and then to be right.
Right.
So it's hard for me. I don't know.
Same with like Nate Bargatze and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
How do you do that? Like,
yeah. How are you funny? Because I think maybe it's my ignorance that just throws in curse words to bridge the gap for my mind to make it work. It's kind of like an or a, like a pregnated pause, but it just happens to be a shit or a damn or,
right.
It's just the way my brain rolls, bro.
They've said the number one rule in comedy is not say on stage.
Yeah.
And every time I watch a YouTube video of myself with headphones in, I'm like, you're saying yeah instead of You're just putting yes in there.
Yep, like, it's the evil cousin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's tough, man. So when did the kick up? It seems like it's been recently kind of with Bull and Bones and now Sharky's. I mean, I feel like that's happened the last 6 months. Is that just me just kind of paying attention, or has it been?
No, that's it. And really, because I would say I started comedy about a year ago, and the last 6 months has been the time that I've had the confidence to be like, we need to do this.
Yeah.
We need this now. The people are asking for it. The people want it.
Do it while it's hot, right?
Why? Yeah.
Man, and that brewery over in Radford, right?
Long Way Brewing.
Long Way's doing stuff.
Long Way. Rob Gropeman over there does a lot of good stuff, and man, that beer is good. And we're funny on Tuesday over there pretty often, so come on out to
does
the
he
brewery.
do it? Does he do it every Tuesday, or is it just kind of hit or miss?
The next date is April 24th.
Okay. I'll throw up a bunch of stuff on our website.
Perfect.
Or on YouTube and stuff like that. Try to get some dates out.
Yeah, he does it semi. I don't know if we have really a schedule. He just kind of, hey, you ready to come back? And I'm like, yep, let's do it.
That's good, man. I like that it's growing, and I feel like this area is finally catching up to. I feel like it's always been a decade behind. You know, for music, for breweries, for, you know, fashion, for all that stuff. It feels so behind.
Yeah, for anything. And it's amazing how much that we had and then just like let go of for mid 2000s capitalism.
Isn't it weird?
Like we had, I'm a live music junkie.
Yeah.
So I go back, and one of my favorite things to do is to go on these live archives and just type in Blacksburg.
Yeah, dude.
And see what bands were playing at like South Main Cafe, which is now Cabo Fish Taco.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And
dude, we played Ton 80 all the time. My band did back in the day.
Yeah.
Old Dart Bar, you know, it's like, but they throw down rock and roll and metal, man.
Yeah, and like there was what's that up there by Mill Mountain Coffee? 622. They used to have bands up there.
Yep.
And now we have to have Squires bring in like Squires, listen at me. Lyric Theater.
Yeah.
They bring in a couple of bands every now and then, but mainly I've drive to Richmond or Roanoke if I'm lucky, but Richmond.
What's that one in Roanoke now? Music Sanctuary?
5 Point Music Sanctuary.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, but like Jared Stout and a bunch of the dudes that they're like, dude, it's great, man.
It's a really fun place to go see some music.
Killer. I need to go up there. What's the vibe? Is it? I've seen a bunch of like jam band stuff.
Yeah,
there's a lot of jam band stuff.
Mainly, yeah. My tribe.
Yeah,
yeah. I go up there and hang out with the Dreads often.
Oh, okay. That's killer though, man.
But yeah, they got mainly that. But every now and then they'll get a little bit heavier. But it's a church, so it's kind of like weird to put like electric guitars in it and put a little bit more distortion than you would in a church rock band.
Yes. Yeah. You know? It was the first leg of tour, and I was front of house and tour manager for David Cook, who was an American Idol. And we played, I want to say it was something called the Sanctuary, and it was maybe Kansas City. I can't remember where it was at. But for what he did, he had some screaming guitars, man. Like legit rock show. We brought lighting, we brought the whole thing, do the sound check, everything. I was like, okay, I got enough to work with. And then when we started the show, like within one song, I was like, oh yeah, this PA's gonna struggle. And then I look up and David's going like this, and I look over and the sub's on fire. I was like, I have officially started a fire.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it was a good show.
Hey.
Minus the smoke. I mean, we just had to pause it for just a second, but it was good. Hey, we got somebody to ask a question here.
Uh-oh.
You might know who this is. MI11Z. How long have you been growing your hair?
How long have I been growing my hair?
I would say since you were born, but maybe, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, depends on what you're talking. The hair on my legs or the hair on my head.
Ooh.
Yeah. These have been growing for a little bit longer.
These ones. So let's see the mullet. Are you going to unveil the mullet?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take it off and take the top off so everybody can see.
Yeah.
Because I've had too many people ask me for it.
All right. Oh, man, it was like it was attached to it. Golly. Sir.
And it's even stuck down from the hat hair.
Do you like to fluff it up? You like to give it a little volume, or you like it to lay kind of low?
I've usually just put a hat on it because it's easy and manageable. And,
That looks nice.
and all, but you know, when you look like Ricky Skaggs' younger brother, you got to let it go sometimes.
Hey, I just want you to know, we're now friends. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. We can hang out now.
Perfect. Awesome. People always ask me, like, why did I grow out a mullet? And, like, when I was a kid, you would always be, like, walking around the store and, like, your little sister or brother, you know, whoever you had would be like, yo, check out that dude.
Check that mullet out.
You never be like, yo, check out that dude with the nice comb over. And,
Yeah.
you know, like, check out this awesome business cut.
Yeah.
No, it's always, check out this mullet, dude.
Dude, they're so nice. So when I was, you know, I toured, if you didn't hear me say that 10 times already, but we played like rodeos, and we'd play like, I called it the corn dog circuit, which was like the county fairs and stuff. I was with Craig Morgan, you know? So we would do these like for a decade, and the mullet hunting was phenomenal. And we had like certain things, you know, we'd name them, region, location, even date, season related mullet, you know, names, length, color, so on and so forth. And we would always shoot them, you know, and we'd always, that was a kill. It's kind of like hunting, deer hunting. So we would share those, you know, one shot, or I had to make two, you know, it got away. We'd have to explain it, and then we'd name it and share it amongst our friends, you know? So, and then when it started becoming more popular and stuff, I was like, damn, man, I can't, this is like fish in a barrel now. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because they're from like 2005 to 2015, there was a stint where it was like, you
were committed.
Yeah, you were. That was your life.
If you had a mullet, you also had like LPs at the house of Conway Twitty and Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yep.
Like,
and a couple of domestics.
Yeah, a couple, one or two. we keep a couple in our back pockets.
You never know when you need to beat a bitch.
Yeah, you know. I don't like to go upside somebody's head, but if I have to, I will.
You know, it's for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you planning on keeping that? Is that something you're?
I'm pretty hooked in.
Okay.
Because I'll go ahead and plug my social media.
Please do.
At the Mullet Influencer on Instagram.
You're committed now.
And TikTok. Yeah, my grandma's always like, well, aren't you going to get a haircut? I'm like, I've actually got a business contract where I can't.
Yeah, I've signed papers.
Yeah, I've signed the papers on this hair, baby. We actually got to go get it permed up later.
Grandma, I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid to do this.
Not yet.
Yeah, in my brain.
Yeah. I keep DMing every brand I can, though.
Do you?
I'm a good boy. I tag, if I post a picture of something, I'm like, if I have a band T-shirt on, I'm like, this is the band. If this is a brand, this is a brand. If it's, you know,
shameless.
I
love it, man. You got to be.
Don't care.
You have to be, man. The market is just so saturated that you have to try to get, you know,
right.
Get in front of people.
Even with comedians, it's so saturated. I have to even, you know, the old saying with a job interview, you show up dressed for the job you want, not the job you got.
Yep.
And so I have to, like, you know, I don't have a podcast, but I have to come here and get the ideas from you guys and go and put them into my podcast so that I'm dressed up like a podcast, you know, when I start mine.
I get it. So what do you do by day?
By day, I'm a machinist.
Nice. Like welding type stuff or fabrication?
I do more manufacturing stuff. I'm actually barely a machinist. To be honest with you,
machine-ish.
Yeah, machine-ish. Yeah. My uncle was a machinist at this shop since its inception. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Him and his buddy there have been there since it started, I think.
Since metal.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was at Row Furniture, and I was upset with that job, and I went to the bar with my uncle and sat down at a bar as two men do and started complaining about our jobs, and his sounded a little bit better than mine about, I think it was actually 4 years ago. Yeah. I got the job on Pi Day 2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And so just now crossed over 4 years of being a machinist.
Okay.
So I Machine-ish.
Machine-ish.
You're very hitting a nail right on the head with that one. Machine-ish.
Dude, I worked at Row Furniture. It was not one of my first jobs, but like when I worked everywhere when I was like from 14 to 17. But I was on the line back before they moved kind of to the Shawsville area,
right,
when they were in Salem.
Right.
So I was living with my grandparents, and it was super early. I had that first shift, and I went down there, and I was probably 2 weeks into the job, and I had to wrap the arms and staple as it was going down. I stapled my finger to a couch while it was going and was walking, and I basically took my hand and knocked my finger out. It went through, like literally through. This finger's been through it. I'm pretty sure it was this finger. And I went in there, and you know, those brads or whatever they are, they're like long right. and just rigid.
Yeah.
And she was like, the nurse was like pulling on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty good with pain. But she was like wiggling it, and she was like, oh honey, this ain't gonna come out. We're gonna have to send you to the hospital. And I said, no. I said, let me see that. And I grabbed it, and I literally went, I yanked it out of my finger. Little blood went bloop. And then they were like, I was like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. And they were like, no, anytime anything like this happens, we have to go send you for a drug test and do all that. And I was like, oh, cool. Where's the water?
Yeah, I never made it to the nurse at Row Furniture because they always said, if you come up here, you're going to have a drug test. And I was like, well, went home a couple double band-aided it up a couple of days.
If I could have gotten that sucker out and just kept rolling, I'd have been fine. But it was in there. It was like bone.
Yeah.
It was gnarly.
Dug in.
Yeah. So so tomorrow you guys have a show.
Bull and Bones.
Yep. How long are your sets typically? What do you try to do?
Well, it really depends on where I'm at. At Bull and Bones, I have free reign.
Okay.
Pretty much. I do most of the behind the scenes work so that people can just show up.
Yeah.
So it depends on who's showing up that night. We had Philly comics come in. I did 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
And I also I'll do 20 minutes there if I really am feeling it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to shoot for 10 to 15. That's my real good I can get in there, feel out the crowd, and make fun of a couple of people in the crowd, and
So you like to do the crowd work?
It's kind of essential now as a comedian, to be online, and making clips a lot.
Yeah,
it's really hard to be like, here's this joke I wrote this week. Here's this joke I wrote this week.
Yeah,
because the joke that I wrote this week is not going to be the same joke in 3 weeks.
Sure. They evolve.
And so I really have gotten to where a good clip will last me, 10 days.
Yeah.
Something like that. And just be like, man, I really can share that one again and just ride it and watch it go up another 500 views if I really want
That's awesome, man. So how's you getting some push, some social media presence?
It's kind of difficult. And really, it's just all algorithmic.
Yes.
So figuring that out is the hardest part. And people say it's time of the day, blah, 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 blah. It's really, you got to be as funny as possible for as short as possible.
Yep. And
that is just tough.
Yep. TikTok especially, I have, I do diecast stuff, and I've got over 1 million, probably 1,500,000 views on that. But those are right off the bat, it's like, oh gosh, and it's like that short attention span theater that our entire world has now. If you've got right all in the first 3 seconds, you're berating somebody or you're then they might stick around.
Exactly. My best video, I don't want to dog anybody, but I went out to Dogtown Roadhouse to their open mic.
Okay.
I had sent them a DM online and said, hey, I see this is an open mic. Here's my clips. I'm bringing comedy, not your typical open mic material.
Yeah.
And they said, bring it. So I brought it.
It has been broughted.
And I made it about 90 seconds on stage before somebody stood up from the crowd and was like, you can't say that. That was my best video.
Nice.
Best video was me getting kicked off stage at Dogtown Roadhouse.
So they kicked you off?
Well, that's me. Like,
you made a decision.
I punted on the thing, but the lady was like, "You can't talk about that." So like,
dang it.
Also like having a DM being like, "Come on."
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say, like, you can't say this and get off stage. Like, that's pretty much.
Was it somebody in the owners or?
The owners were in the crowd as audience members with children. So, like, at the same time, this is what baffles me about drinking culture.
Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker. I go to breweries and stuff because that's where the business lies.
Yeah.
But if you have your menu is like 21 and over,
yes.
Like, what are you worried about? What's on the stage for? Like,
yeah.
If your kids are hanging out, at the bar, like, what are you worried about?
That's on you.
That's
your right?
Yeah. But that's just another thing that just baffles me with these breweries being like, can we do clean shows? Like, you have to be 21 to participate in like 75% of the activities here. Granted, you have Scrabble sitting in the corner in case there's a 7-year-old.
Sure. But, get it together. Don't DM my man and say, hey, bring your jokes. I know you're an adult and we have a brewery that is adult beverage based, but my kids are going to be there. So if you would,
right.
God, come on, man.
Well, let's get it straight. Dogtown is the pizza place.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, their main escapade when you go in there is a 30-yard long bar.
Yeah.
So
that sucks. But what do you do? It's their place, I guess.
Put it on the internet and you make fun of it. That's what you do.
What did you say? Did you have any rebuttal to that, or were you just kind of stuck and went, okay? Like when they told you, when they were like, you can't say that. That's the way I feel like they said it. You can't say that.
Well, the guy announced me as a stand-up comic.
Okay.
And as a stand-up comic, you're supposed to be observant. Everybody else in the crowd was sitting down.
Yeah.
As soon as he said stand-up comic, she stood up as well. So I was like, oh, got mine on you.
Yeah.
And then the joke was, I said nipples in the joke.
So far, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're still rolling clear. It's a body part. Nothing weird yet.
It's anatomy.
Lady's like, you can't talk about nipples on stage. And I was like, okay.
Fair enough.
And
I would have walked off stage and talked about them.
I said, as a comic, I hope you come to my next show. I have a lot of good material, plugging my stuff.
Yeah.
Come out, catch another one. Thank you guys for paying attention.
Yeah. Did you get anything in? Or was it just, I'm mid nipple joke, bye-bye?
Mid nipple joke. Bye.
That sucks, man. Did you get a free, were there any free pizza or anything for inconvenience?
That's another funny element to this story that I really didn't get to talk too much about online. Open mic starts. Open mic sign up was 5:00.
Okay.
Open mic started at 5:30. I got there 10 minutes early, 4:50.
Okay.
I have the 5:35 spot. I haven't seen a server until I'm walking onto the stage. So I was about to go up there, and instead of going into nipples, I was going to be like, I hope you guys can get a server up here now that I'm on the stage. I can direct you to the table that I'm sitting at that I've been at since, 4:45.
Yeah.
Ish,
Dang.
And luckily I didn't go up there and start bashing the service of this place because I appreciate them. I love going out to Floyd. Floyd's a beautiful place. They do music out there as well.
Yeah.
They've had Jared Stout and Eric Wayne.
Yep. Yep. Now I know what you're talking about. For some reason, I thought it was in Radford, but as soon as you said Floyd, I was like, oh yeah, I've been to that place multiple times. Little known fact, everything shuts the hell down on Tuesdays in Floyd. I went there on a Tuesday, Valentine's Day, tried to take my wife. I was like, oh, we'll just spend a day in Floyd. We'll go up to the Parkway, take some wine, come back. All right, so at Parkway Grill, they have got spectacular fried avocados.
Shout out those guys, because after not getting served at Dogtown, I went down and got their special grilled pork chop.
Nice.
And let me just say, I felt like I was sitting in the Ritz-Carlton in D.C. versus, I don't want to shit on Dogtown, but they're still a nice establishment. But, it was much nicer meal. Parkway Grill. Go out there and get some food.
Yes.
And go get drunk at Dogtown, because that's their MO.
That's the thing.
Come on now.
But so we went there. We got, we were going to go there and get the appetizer, have a cold beer. They have the Belgian ales. It's like, okay, I'm going to get me a Belgian ale. Start the day, pull in. I was like, man, it looks kind of thin on Valentine's Day at lunch. They're not open. Fair enough. I was like, let's drive up, go past Dogtown and that little area, that kind of open area that's got like the buffalo turds or whatever they're called. They're little fried jalapenos. They're closed. It's like, okay, so I'm not going to get a sour ale there. Let's walk down here to Dogtown. They're closed. I was like, holy crap. I looked at everything, even the drive-in down there was closed. I was like, is this a Tuesday thing? And it is. For some reason in Floyd, shit shuts down on a Tuesday. So we went to McAdoo's and I got 2 schooners and came to the house. I was like, I am so sorry, honey. I really had a better day planned for you in my head.
Whoa. That's a wild thing. That's like one of those old timey like blue law things.
Yes.
Almost. Like on Tuesday we rest.
Yeah. This is when we cleanse the county of the sinners.
Yes.
It's like, gosh, I guess they got to go out. It's like a dry county or something. But now I know what you're talking about. For some reason, I had you in Radford. What's that pizza place over in Radford?
Poonies? You talking about Brick House?
Yeah, Brick House. Dogtown Brick House. Yeah. Do they do anything fun?
They have music and stuff there. Yeah. But they're also a very in-town family-friendly kind of deal.
Gotcha.
And my cousin works there. Go see Mandolin. Shout out Mandolin.
What's up?
At Brick House. Yeah, they run a good spot. And but my favorite pizza down there is the old Poonies, the old recipe.
Okay.
It's like it's put on like a saltine cracker. It's so
one of thins.
It's an old you ordered it out of like the Aranto truck stop in like 98 pizzas. It's really bad, but it's so bad it's good pizza. Yeah. That's the ones I like.
Man, see, I love trashy food, man. I like there's a place in my heart for stuff that's bad, but it does your heart good. If that makes sense. Like what you're talking about, just like shitty corn dogs. Yeah. Like I will devour a foot-long shitty corn dog because God, you know?
I would drop a 50 at the Dublin flea market for some of them line dogs.
Okay.
You ever been up there?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you like a good corn dog, you might want to go to the flea market the next time it's in Dublin. The Ruritan Lions have their own like special batter that they put on corn dogs up there. Batter. Yeah.
Mark makes the batter. He brings it from the house. I don't know what's in it. That's real good.
That's too good of an impression. See, the messed up thing about me is I can sit around and do impressions all day, and you put a microphone in front of my mouth, and I just sound nothing like anything but this idiot talking to you now.
You think it's in your head. You're just like, this is perfect, isn't it? Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly.
So, my dad's in the Lions Club, but he doesn't have like a batter,
right?
Or anything like that. He helps get glasses for people,
right, that
can't see.
That's nice.
I guess. I'd rather get corn dogs.
I was going to say,
So my buddy's dad does corn dogs. My dad does eyeglasses for, I think you got the cooler friend.
Corn dogs versus letting the blind see reality.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Here's your corn dog since you can see now.
Yeah. Can you see this corn dog? Good. Go see Bob.
How many corn dogs am I holding up?
Mike said 7.
Holy hell, where are we at?
You're going to have to get him a better pair of glasses there, son.
He needs trifocals.
You got to have something.
So what do you recommend to an aspiring comedian to give them the gusto to try and get on stage? I got to cough this out. Go ahead.
Well, just know that it's going to be bad. And it's going to be bad for a while.
Yeah.
And even when it feels good, it's going to feel bad every now and then. And if it feels good all the time, watch out. Because it's going to feel bad eventually. Like, it's just like there's no way to just like ride it out smoothly. Just know that like rejection happens.
Yeah.
Like, that's a natural part of life. And I spent a whole lot of my time like writing jokes and not going on stage because I was like, they're not going to like me. I'm not going to be funny, blah, 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 blah. Yes.
Yeah.
That happens all the time, everywhere. You just like accept rejection is the biggest advice I can give to anyone experiencing this reality, to be honest with you. But like, especially being a comedian, like they're going to hate you a lot. You're going to push a line that they're not going to like. You're going to get asked to get off stage and you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like you didn't do anything wrong. You know, it's like, this is your craft and you're taking your art to people.
You know what's screwed up to me is that they would ask you to get off stage. That is such a prude freaking thing to say. It's like, so you're going to do this and then ask me not to do this. Why? What the hell's up with that? Is it just the venue is just not kind of, they want it, but they don't? You think that's it? Or
the times that I've been asked to get off stage has been like, I've had an invitation where somebody obviously did not watch my clips. Because if like, all right, well, if you go back and research the date that I sent them clips to Dogtown Roadhouse, I was doing a joke about my son wanting to dress up for Halloween as Blackface and Robin.
okay.
Yeah. Normal, everyday, like funny stuff,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody laughs about that.
Yeah.
No.
Not everybody?
Not everybody.
Okay. Well,
Matter of fact, I
news to
got
me.
told that was bad a whole lot. But I had one really good clip where I had my couple of black friends right there with me, and they thought that shit was hilarious. And so I put that shit online. And when I looked back on it, and I was like, man, if Dogtown really looked at that, they would have never in their life imagined that me coming out there, like.
so you just have that one joke that's offensive and everything else is fine.
Yeah, no, and I'm like a Nickelodeon cartoon the rest of the time when I'm not talking about blackface.
You do blow ups and like, gosh.
Yeah.
That's what's hilarious to me is whenever, especially, the race jokes in between. I think it's hilarious when different ethnicities rag on us and vice versa. I think it's you have to be, you can't take yourself too seriously.
Exactly.
You have a mullet. That's funny to people, right? So if you got mad because people said something about that, that's a dick move to be mad about that. You know what I mean?
One of my best jokes, one of the best moments I've ever had in comedy was last Halloween. Around the same time, I was doing this joke where I was like, if another motherfucker asks me if I'm dressed up as Joe Dirt, I'm going to bust him in the mouth.
Yeah.
My culture is not my costume. And so, like,
You were owning it. Yes.
people liked it.
Yeah.
But one lady loved it.
Okay.
And it touched me in a way that I never thought I would be touched. And I did this gig at Ursula's Cafe, which is a great spot in Roanoke. Anybody, I don't want to rag on anybody, but like if you're going to take clothes to Goodwill, take them to Ursula's Cafe if you're going to Roanoke. They give to the homeless.
Cool.
everything there is like you go and you're like, I want a whatever coffee you want, and you pay for it, but you don't pay for the coffee. The coffee's paid for. You're giving them to take care of people.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a good vibe.
Shout out Ursula's Cafe and L.A. Preston for getting us in there.
Nice.
But so I'm in there and I did that joke, and I'm rolling out to go to a concert that's starting at like 10 o'clock. And this lady's like, Joe Dirt, you're not leaving. And I'm like, that is offensive, but I'm trying to be nice to her. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I turn around and there's an African lady in a dashiki and a headdress.
That said that to you.
And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? You're supposed to be like picketing outside of my comedy shows. You are the like crowd that's supposed to picket my stuff. She's like, my culture, not my costume. My culture, not my costume. And I was like, oh my God, I've made the connection.
That's awesome, dude.
They get it.
I've bridged the gap.
Yes. And it's like, yes, I'm out here saying these wild, outlandish things, but like, I don't hate anybody.
No, it's comedy, man.
It's all a joke.
Yes.
Like, this whole reality is too much for all of us. Like,
Oh my
calm
gosh.
down when you're around me
Yeah.
and just laugh.
Just live, man.
Yeah.
People take themselves so seriously. And the problem is one person, if you're talking to one person, they might not take themselves seriously. But then when their friend is with them, and then 3 or 4, now it's like you have to make a stand. It's like, come on, bro. Just chill out. This, especially in comedy. It's like taking an actor playing their role and thinking that's really them, which I know there's some dumbasses that actually do that. But
Right.
But you know what I mean? It's like, this is all for show.
And I kind of was nervous and would do stuff like that. Like, I would really cut up around my best friends, but like, I'm kind of like subdued now when I'm, around just being myself.
Yeah.
But I took like all of the pandemic and was alone.
Okay.
And so I had an apartment by myself. And that's kind of when I was like, okay, whenever this kind of rattles out, I've figured out that like the guitar sounds like shit when I play it. I've been sitting here and I've watched like Billy Madison and, stand up and like,
Yeah.
all of this. I've just done nothing but laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Once the pandemic's over, I've got to like set a like limit. I've got to do 5 open mics a week. Got to do whatever. Figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
And like I said, once the comedians gone rogue, I found those guys and got tied in. Was actually able to find open mics.
Yeah.
Just started clicking, and it was, being alone, figuring out myself, and then getting over the like anxiety of like who I am to be myself in front of like whoever, the camera, if I'm going on stage, it's not the camera, it's like 1,000 eyes you're looking over top of, or it feels like 1,000 because it's only 50.
But still, I'd rather do 1,000 than 5 or 10 people. Like me, coming from the background I have, it just seems like, golly,
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, though. It's a lot of 5 and 10 rooms.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying, like, from what, my past life and, mixing and doing that stuff, I hated when it was a small crowd, because it was like, oh gosh, people,
Yeah.
like in a small, it's just like, gosh, when they're moving as a herd, it's like much better, to deal with.
There's almost a nice middle.
Yeah.
Because I told you about Sharky's, how we were overwhelmed with the first night.
Yeah.
Second night it was not nearly as, not nearly as packed.
Yeah.
And I was stressing. I was like, oh man, guys, come on. Everybody show up. Come on. I know there's people coming.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night, I was like, wait a minute. I did it really well at my set. Everybody else crushed their set more because, like, the first night, everybody was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Everybody went on stage and said, wow, there's a lot of you guys here. And you could, like, almost, the crowd almost, like, took that and was like,
Yeah.
well, we got the upper hand here.
Okay.
And you could feel it, like, with the comedians. So you got to have that middle ground.
That makes sense.
Where you either, like, 'cause, dude, we're all very, very green in our craft as well. So, like, we don't even know how to handle a 200-person crowd.
Yeah.
I was trying to do crowd work, and I was like, you there in the middle, and I was like, pointing at 6 people.
Me? Who? Him?
Yeah.
Me? Huh?
It's like, if I do not make the most accurate reference right now, I'm not going to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of finding that, like, 100 people is about perfect. 100 people.
Yeah.
So, Commotion crowd. Tomorrow night, Bull and Bones. Thursday night, 8 p.m. It's going to be a surprise show. We had a surprise for you guys, but now we've got a whole new surprise lineup because that surprise surprised me the other day.
Nice. I like surprises.
Yeah, we've got a whole lot of them.
Okay. So tell us more.
Jordan Bishop has come back to town. Jordan B., the NRV's funniest man,
Nice.
as I call him. He's the one that saved me. He told me I was funny too. And he's got a 140 Characters podcast. Go check that out. He's on hiatus right now, but he'll hiatus his ass back on there sometime. But check it out until he does. They got a couple of episodes of me making very, very bad jokes on there that I'll probably be canceled for later.
Is that something they're doing? Are they canceling?
I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the biggest story of it right now that I would want to talk about is Shane Gillis.
Okay.
You know anything of his story?
I don't know, like, really nothing, you know? I mean, yeah, tell me about it.
Well, he's from Harrisburg, PA.
Okay.
Up towards Philly.
Yeah.
And he just stand up. Actually, hold on. I'm missing some stuff.
Yeah.
He went to West Point for like 2 weeks and was like going to play football there.
Okay.
And then was like, no, can't do this.
Gotcha.
I have a kind of a similar story. I went to Concord University in they call it UCLA, University of Concord, left in Athens. It's in Athens, West Virginia.
Nice.
And if you've never heard of Athens, because there's nothing there.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. And went there and left, and then just started doing stand up. Made it all the way to SNL, and there was some, I don't know what it is, some bad clip on a podcast at some point of him doing an impression. That's why I was like, as soon as I did the impression, I was like, I know it's rude, but give me a minute.
Yeah.
But they were like, boom, shut him down on SNL before he was even on there a week.
Oh my gosh.
But last summer,
I had no idea.
Yeah. But now he's like huge.
He's everywhere. He's on podcasts. He's like all over the place.
I went to the Bristol Drag Strip, and he was opening for Burt Kreischer last year.
No way.
Yeah, the machine.
Yeah.
So it's, and it's all the wild ride. And the Philly comics that I had from that came to Bull and Bones.
Yeah.
He was producing their Shane Gillis's podcast, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Go out and listen to that one too. I'll giggle with you.
Yeah.
Lemaire Lee, he was producing their podcast, and this is one moment that like also made me floored in comedy. I was listening to their podcast, and he had produced the episode, and I knew we had the date booked, and I was like, "There's no way that they're going to talk about Blacksburg on like this national podcast." And I was sitting there and listened to the very end, and he's like, "Lemaire, come up and give your dates." And Lemaire comes up to a mic and he's like, "If you're in Virginia, come out and see me this weekend." And I was like,
oh. So Virginia's a big state.
and Shane's, no, hold on. And Shane was like, "No, you oaf, come up here and do it like a man." And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, damn. And he came up there and he's like, said the Blacksburg date. And I was like,
Nice. Yeah.
And so I had the ticket link for that on my cell phone. I got like stats and stuff from it.
Yeah.
Guess where my number 2 ticket sales were from?
Oh, it's got to be that link
No,
or that day.
Lynchburg.
Huh.
People drove from Lynchburg to see us do comedy because there was Philly comics, because they said it on that podcast.
That's awesome.
That was yeah, and that was like,
yeah, that's killer, man.
wow, we've actually done something, and we're actually like making not national headlines, but like people are coming to see us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of a nice thing to have, and people are emailing us about coming and doing podcasts. It's kind of nice.
That's awesome. And where was that show at?
It was at Bull and Bones.
That was at Bull and Bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Robbie Hockett again. Like, he is the man.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. What's up, Robbie? I need to come see y'all, man. I really do. It's so hard when you have a schedule, like owning a business, doing a podcast, having 2 kids. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, just, and I have chickens and a garden I'm doing. It's just wild, man.
I don't know how you do it, man. I live in an apartment just so that I can like peace. Let's go.
I know.
Let's go for the weekend.
The simplicity of it, man, would be, it's like when I would get home from being on the road, the last thing I wanted to do was do anything that required moving off of my couch or doing anything. And of course, the one thing my wife wanted to do was like, go eat and go see something and go do that. So there was always that like, I just want to sit, but I haven't seen you. I want to go.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard. Traveling is like, I'm just now getting back after being out of the music business for 4 years, probably 3.5 or 4 years. I am literally just now getting back to the point to where I'm like, I could go show my wife some of the places I've been, or go do something cool. Maybe try to travel again. What do we have here? We have got, I've got 1 million notifications. Hallowed Posty. Hi, I want to offer promotion to your channel. Viewers, followers, chat bots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed. I'm going to bet that's a bot. What do you think in our chat?
I'm going to plug my social media just in case it's not.
Sure.
So if you are really interested, at the Mullet Influencer, just run those numbers up. And if it's really cheap, just go ahead and run them up and we'll pay you later.
Nice. Doghype.com.
Doghype.com.
Jeez, man. There's no shame in these people's game right here, bro.
Me neither. That's half of it, though.
So what do you do when you're not writing jokes and machining things with your hands?
Man, this is one of my favorite questions to answer, because I have like this really strange energy.
Okay.
And so I'm a really bad relaxer.
You wound up like a banjo?
Yep.
Okay.
I love fishing and I love traveling for music.
Okay.
I used to, before I did comedy, man, I would go travel and watch all the hippie bands.
String cheese, all that. You like string cheese?
Yep. Stuff like that. Humphreys McGee.
Okay.
Spafford.
You listen to Lettuce?
Lettuce. Yeah.
Dude, we were in Houston, and it's the first time I saw them live. And we had played there the night before, and they played the next night. We had a day off, and I was like, hey, get us on the list. We went and hung out, and I was like, these mugs jam. Yeah. Freaking horns and like multiple singers and shit.
Yeah.
It was good, man.
My connect at Sharky's. Shout out Johnny Peacock. I don't know if he likes going by Johnny, but I just went with Johnny because I was on my toes. Sorry, Johnny.
Sorry about that, Johnny.
But he was just talking the other day. He's like, man, I got Jazz Fest tickets to New Orleans. I'm going to see Lettuce and Tower of Power and the New Orleans Philharmonic.
Nice.
And so like the whole time we were setting up this Sharky's, that's what we were listening to. So
dude, Lettuce jams.
Yeah,
dude.
it's a lot of people are like, I don't know what like a 10-minute jam for a guitar and stuff is about. And like, it's not about anything. It's just like
just rolling.
You just forget what's happening.
Yep. You just follow the movement. You make eye contact with the next person to take it, and you just keep rolling.
Yeah, half of it is it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of my comedy too. So
That's good.
half of this shit's just for me, guys.
This isn't about you guys.
Yeah.
So fall back and regroup. So you conspiracy theorist at all?
Yeah. I dig into those pretty often, and I often try to write jokes about it, but I'm like, man, this is just not relatable at all. But then I go on a podcast and they're like, hey, you want to talk conspiracy theories?
See, I had no clue. I just felt like you might be a conspiracy theorist. What's the one that's currently plaguing your mind?
See, I don't let them plague me too much.
Okay.
But the one that's really like had me wrapped up recently was those Murdaugh murders and stuff, and like how deep that could have been, and like how wild it could still unravel.
Sure.
Know? But I'm also like, I don't know how to put it. In all of these conspiracy theories, I always think it's always weirdly rooted in the government, and I have no like real trust in. I have a bit that's like, I saw an anarchist at a red light, and I was like, well, if you're a real anarchist, why don't you push your luck? And it's really just me like driving around late at night when I can't see anyone else around me, just like driving through red lights, thinking like, you're a dumbass, actually.
Actually, you're just stupid.
Yeah.
No. Man, like I go, like are you a flat earth guy? Do you go that far?
I love listening to them.
Okay.
This is the thing. I like to laugh.
Yes.
And so like, if you tell me there's an ice wall at Antarctica,
Yeah.
I'm going to listen for 25, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, you got my attention for a while.
Yeah,
I just want to see how deep we can go with this.
Yeah. Let me see. Like, have you been on a plane yet? Because I have. Not with my last name. I have not been on a plane. So let's see what you
got
do.
flagged already, and you show up, and they're like, "He's good.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? He's fine."
I was 7 years old during 9/11, and
Oh man,
I still can't get on a plane because of Assad.
Jeez, man. So, do you have like ties to the Middle East?
Somehow, some way, but I don't know enough genealogy. I'd be better off to tell you about the lizard people.
So you're a lizard person. You're good.
Yet again, I'm not necessarily a lizard person, but if you're going to talk about it, I will listen to you.
I will humor you for a while.
That's my thing with conspiracy theories. I don't believe all of them.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sit and listen to them all.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a chance to prove it to me.
Yeah. For a while.
Some of the ones that like, JFK, some of those are like, okay, well, there's some definite merit to the percussion of the impacts of the bullets and stuff like that you could really start to believe some of that.
I mean, there's a lot to JFK that I probably, if you were to crawl in my mind, you'd be like, you actually believe all this?
No, we're probably not too far off.
And I've just sat there for 25 minutes, enough times to be like, well,
we might be there.
Yeah.
So JFK is one. What about Epstein? You believe all that?
Oh.
It's not really a rabbit hole. That's more of like it's proven and people are still dying.
Oh, 400%. Yeah.
So you think he was, what about the Clintons?
Oh, what about him? How long you want to talk here, brother?
Well, I got a while.
But yeah, no, the Clintons are wild, and the Bushes are another one that I think is a wild story.
Yeah.
If you go back in Periwinkle, have you heard that Periwinkle apparently stole Geronimo's skull, Periwinkle Bush?
No.
It's like the great grandfather Bush apparently stole Geronimo's skull when he was in Yale, and he's like got it on display at the
Why?
Skull and Bones meetup at Yale. Yeah, so I've sat for more 25 minutes than you.
Dang, you have, man. You about at 45 minutes in on that one.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Periwinkle Bush,
I think
stole a skull, and no, did you catch that? And now it's at Yale's Illuminati Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
And I'm not 100% sure, but is he the one that was the big banker that colluded with the Nazis?
Periwinkle?
Yeah.
I don't know shit about
You
periwinkle.
don't know about shit about periwinkle bush?
No, dude.
Damn. Come on now.
I need to. Hey, we'll have you back, and it'll just be a periwinkle bush episode.
Periwinkle bush.
We'll
I'll
just talk all things periwinkle.
have to go read a couple books.
I don't do that. You read them, and then I'll come and sit for 25 minutes. How about that? And then you can just tell me all about it and try to convince me.
10-4.
Here or there. What about 9/11? I know you were young. So 9/11 for me, I owned a car detail shop. And I came in and I pulled my first car in and I was going to detail. And I had a TV in the back corner. And I just saw like the first plane had hit and everything was going down. And of course you're just enamored to it. You know, I saw the space shuttle explode too.
Right.
You know, real time type stuff. So that was like my second crazy thing to see. So do you think there was something in the paint? Or do you think that?
Well, since you got very vivid with your detailing of it,
Yeah.
let me just tell you, I remember that day very well as well.
Okay.
I was in the second grade. I was born in 93, so I was either 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
And I was homesick from school. And my parents, very frugal.
Okay.
So we had no cable.
All right. Fair enough.
I was trying to
I lived on a hill, so I didn't have any cable.
Yeah. You had to adjust the signal.
I had to hold my head right.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to watch Arthur the Aardvark when all of a sudden
Damn.
all 5 channels we had were jerked to the one signal
Yeah.
that was going on that day. And so instead of watching Maury Povich as a 7-year-old,
That probably led to some good decisions.
you think back on these days and like,
Yeah.
what really happened in my young brain at that time?
Yeah.
What
was
really-
molding me as a child?
Yeah, because
Povich.
I definitely know jet fuel doesn't burn steel beams.
No.
That's the only thing that I know about that day as a steel fact.
Oh, as a machinish.
Yeah, a machinish. I know that jet fuel does not burn steel beams.
That's wild. So it cannot get hot enough. Burning.
As a machinish, I don't think so.
Well, hell. Stop. Can't even talk. He puts his filter on us sometimes.
That's perfect.
Logan gets a hold of us. Logan, appear in the fireplace. Go. Disappear. All right. Cool.
Yo. That's wild.
So you think it was an inside job?
I don't know what happened.
Well, I
But
can tell you.
I do know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I do have listened to enough podcasts to know.
And these are real. Podcasts are
These,
real.
yeah. I won't release any names,
Okay.
but I'll release the documents.
Okay.
But there was a Syrian prince that was shaking hands with a peace treaty with Bush
Okay.
on September 12th. And I think if you look back at documents, like 9 of the whatever, was it like 15 or 12 pilots that were involved that day were Syrian. So like they were more than involved with it.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I just know there's a couple of details that don't
Not necessarily on the front page.
they weren't on the front page that,
Yeah.
maybe had something to do with something.
Okay. Well, I think everything has to do with something.
Yeah.
That's just me, dude. Like I have zero faith I have faith, but I don't have faith in humanity.
It's a very different, like when a faith in a religious aspect is very different than faith in like, is Tucker Carlson going to tell me what I want before I go to bed, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's wild, man. Because I've seen what people will do to get backstage. So just imagine what people will do for control of oil.
Yeah, I've done weird shit to get backstage at a coffee shop where some like indie country artist was playing.
What have you shown your bosoms?
I
Have you ever done that?
I haven't, but I have definitely succumbed to many amounts of drugs to them.
Well, so the last episode was Chris Alderman, and he was talking about how he started doing. I don't even know if. Do you know if he was microdosing or full on dosing LSD?
I believe it was a controlled microdose.
Okay.
It was almost like an ayahuasca kind of thing.
Okay, so he was trying to do that, to kind of figure out who he was. So, have you figured out who you are yet?
Well, I've never done a controlled dose.
It's been totally out of control.
But I've figured out a couple of things on some doses where I was like, what's this world?
Stoplights aren't real.
Yeah.
So you've been different places?
Yeah, I had a really good TikTok a couple of weeks back. They had there was a sound from like Hoodwinked. Was that the movie? It was Hoodwinked, yeah. It was this Billy Goat going, did I? And everybody was like quoting it like, did I say I was gonna split all these cookies with you?
Okay.
And innocent old me, I had a photo on my phone of one of those uncontrolled doses that I had taken a selfie during.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, did I say I was going to split the acid evenly between everyone? Did I? Did I?
So is this something you avidly pursue?
Not avidly, but if there's a band around,
Anywhere. If there's a radio within 10 feet, I'm liable to get down.
It's like it does a bear shit in the woods.
There's a whale shit in the water, man. Come on now.
Are you high right now?
Not exactly.
Define high.
I mean, it's been a couple of hours.
Fair enough. Did you have a schedule on there, like a timer that goes off when you need to?
No, I just
redose.
I have not looked at it in whatever time we've been sitting here, and I was like, oh damn, it has been a while since I've had a puffer off the hooter.
Oh man, Zach, I love you, buddy.
I love you too, man. This has been a whole lot of fun.
So you told me you do tie-dye stuff as your merch, man. You've got some really cool gear on right now.
This is actually just something that I bought. But I have two things here right now.
Okay.
And I can't give them to you right now because I have to wash them. I wouldn't say go put these in your washer with any clothes.
Okay.
Because they're covered, but I dry mine beforehand.
Ah.
And I've seen you in here in Jordans a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so I tried to do black and blue and red
that, dude.
for this.
That's killer, man.
Yeah, I tie these up and make them all weird and different. And,
cool, bro.
I forgot that black and blue makes purple, or blue and red makes purple, but it still came out pretty good. But yeah, and then I have this one here. Since we've been talking about everything else, this is a little kind of Rasta deal I made up.
Oh, that's killer. I like that design down the middle, man.
I tie these up with wax string and
what's that process? I remember doing it once or twice, but like, how do you actually?
Well, let me just say this isn't what they made at Methodist camp.
Because that's probably where I did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have a simpler process. But what I do, because everything I do, I'm like trying to be above and beyond the product that is around here.
Gotcha.
The product that I've seen around here is like mainly like a spiral design or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of what I do with mine is I take and I get them wet and I wring it out till it's just barely damp.
Okay.
And like with these, I pick a certain point, pull them tight, and I tie them up with wax string.
Okay.
And that wax string makes a watertight seal.
Oh.
And that's where you get these white lines.
I gotcha. So like real definitive
for
corners.
the viewers to see. This is where you get these white lines and all. I'm not trying to give away my merch ideas. You can find these on YouTube anytime. But yeah, and then I go to Joann's or wherever, and I get dye, and I call it Natty Daddy Ice Company. Because the first time I did it, I just had a pack of old Fruit of the Loom T-shirts.
All right.
And I just had a snowstorm.
Okay.
The first time I'd done it, I just took snow and put on top of them.
Okay.
And I was like, man, this is fun. You can just do this naturally without it. And now I'm running the gas station every 2 weeks and trying to burn through another batch of T-shirts. And so I can, people are actually kind of liking them at, shows. Dude. Nobody comes out to a comedy show and is like, man, I'm going to spend another $25. But
yeah,
some people actually have been, and I'm trying to buy a PA system so I can take the show on the road and, do the touring, not necessarily do touring as big as like a musician or something, but I want to at least go like Withville to Lynchburg. That'd be fun on weekends.
Yeah, man. Just doing like pop-ups. Just wherever.
Wherever doesn't want a damn clean, family-friendly show. Wherever I can go and I don't want to get away with a slur, but, I want to.
Yeah.
They want to like maybe sound like it.
Maybe a little nipple here and there.
Yeah. Throw a nipple at them.
Golly, I can't believe nipples that's a part of your body, dude.
Yeah.
What was the where were you going with that joke that they felt?
Oh, well, they stopped me right on time because I was headed right from nipple to fat cock.
Oh, that's usually where I go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pause.
Pause.
Sir, hey, turn the podcast. No, I'm joking. Why? That's just the thing, man. In fact, I hate it. I hate harping on this stuff, but people take shit too seriously, man. If people would just laugh and relax and just realize, I mean, sure, there's some evil, stupid sons of bitches out there that want to hurt people's feelings, but you're at a comedy show.
That's it. That's it. I have a lot of jokes that talk about like me being sexually assaulted as a kid or, something like that. And I'm like, guys, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like it does happen.
Yeah.
But like if it happened to you, that joke's not for you.
Yeah.
That joke might be for you.
It might help you heal.
It might be for the third person down the line that went through your story.
Yeah.
But, it might not be for you.
Yeah.
Wait till the next one.
Yeah. Stand in line.
The amount of people that are just like, no, fuck this.
Yeah.
But, it's wild being in comedy right now, though, because there's so many people around here that just love it. But you put it on the internet, and you find out how many people don't.
I was going to say, everybody's a warrior once you put it online, man. Everybody's a critic. Nobody's out there doing it to the level, but they're a critic about you who's out there trying to do it at a level. Right?
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. Hey, let's do this. Let's take a break. Let's watch really bad comedy, and we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Hello?
Hey, Drew, it's Rob with Thackerville Estate Group. I actually got your number from Brad. He had mentioned that you had a house to sell in Virginia.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we actually met. Yep, that's me. Hey, I thought you might want to chat. I'm in the area right now and would love to stop by.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Oh, nice. What are you watching?
Oh, just some scary movie.
I love scary movies, actually. If you have time, I'd love to stop by and talk about selling your house.
Uh-huh.
The first time we talked, you said that you might have been talking with someone else.
No.
I know for a fact that you're talking to another realtor.
What did you say?
I said I know for a fact that you are talking to another realtor. You want to play these games, answer the phone like, hello, and all that stuff. We went to dinner with Brad and Angie like 2 weeks after that party, and you're sitting here talking to me about selling your house, and now I find out it's somebody else?
Look, I gotta go.
It just kind of hurts, Drew, I thought we had something. We had such a connection. I just want to know who. I just want to know who.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
No, that's more lies. I'm pretty sure that's what you're watching right now on TV. You can end it now. Just tell me who, Drew. Tell me who it is.
The guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters.
Oh, I knew it. Oh my gosh. Of all the people that you could have used. Bye, Drew. Like, this is goodbye. Yeah, Drew never sold her house, so you were in the bathroom, but I have this video from my real estate company.
Yeah.
Where I was on the West Coast and, you know, kind of bumping uglies with Drew and Brad and all them. And we were having dinner, and Drew, she was like, hey, you know, I want to sell my house, you know. And I was like, oh, we'll do this, you know, we'll make it happen and try to do that for you. And she ended up going with somebody else, and it was heartbreaking.
What the fuck?
I know, dude. It's all right. You know, we even had dinner after that. That's what I was telling him.
Man.
We even had dinner after that, and I was like, I thought we were cool.
They paid, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she's not working too much anymore. How was your pee?
It was excellent. And I don't know why y'all call that the dungeon. That's like the place that like all my family moved into when I was a kid. That's how the bathroom looked when they moved into a new place.
Yeah, upgrade.
Yeah. They're like, this is much better than the one that didn't have any water in it the last time.
This is much better than outside.
It's funny, when I turned 18, spring break when I was 18, I went to Dixon, Tennessee to visit some family.
Nice.
And,
no Dixon well.
I love my family, but they didn't have the water turned on. And I was like, every morning I got up and I had to shit. And I was like, we have to go to Lowe's. Like the second
That's
day.
where that was the go-to for a deuce?
No, it was like yesterday's didn't work. The second day I was like, we have to go to Lowe's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what y'all, was it like, did they just have fallen upon hard times?
Yeah. It's just like something, and it just runs in my family. Like every now and then you're not able to pay a bill.
It's just
like, you know,
it's the Assad thing.
you know, some people, it's dad, mom's side of the family is more or less, but
Okay.
yeah.
Is there a name so I can kind of steer clear of those?
Bales.
Damn, Bale.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I
Bales.
love all the Bales, and they love me.
They just have
They just every now and then they get a little silly.
a little utilities cut
A
off
little silly.
periodically.
Hey, every now and then mine flash. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Every now and then I got to divert a truck.
Yeah. I'm still getting Wi-Fi off my neighbors though. Thank God. Good Lord.
Larry and Donna, 2.4 gigahertz.
Good Lord willing, the password don't change.
Yeah, they have kids. It might change if
It's
they get
a
kids.
grandma.
Is it?
Yeah.
She's got blazing internet.
Yeah, she does.
Grandparents, I don't know what it is. They're like, well, they don't even get on it.
Yeah, and their password is easy to remember. It's their favorite grandchild and their birthday and the exclamation point.
Capitalized first name.
Yep.
Dang it. Little Johnny, 1997.
Yeah.
Question mark? Because Johnny, they don't know if that, because there was question about Johnny
Yeah.
because he doesn't look like mom or dad.
Mm-hmm.
So grandma's kind of pissed. So she's kind of like question marked it.
He's got that dark hair, you know. We always wondered about Johnny. He didn't play basketball like his dad.
I was telling Donald that he came down the other day and he spoke to me, and I couldn't believe the way he talked to me.
Hey, I had me cooking breakfast the other day,
That son of a bitch.
and I was scrambling him an egg. I was about halfway through it. He said, "Why don't you fry me one?"
Oh shit.
I said, "Johnny, you know in this family we scrambled eggs with a little bit of cheese in them and the bacon grease. We don't break tradition around here. You're thinking outside your head now. Now just sit down and watch this Fox News while I smoke a cigarette now."
I'd have whopped him on his damn leg and told him to get on.
I put my cigarette out on his kneecap and went back to cooking his eggs.
Good. Paul Miles.
Damn. Speaking of rabbit holes, sorry, Johnny. But you are now an abused kid with cigarette burns on your knees
This character,
and a Wi-Fi password.
This character we made up 2 minutes ago just now has more traumatic abuse than my whole childhood.
Gosh, we really need to worry about him. You know, we might need to follow him.
Dear John.
Dear Johnny, Granny misses you. How's that treating you? Decent.
Yeah.
Rittenhouse. So it's a rye. Like I've had to change my drinking habits because I came off my heartburn medicine, and it keeps me up at night if I drink bourbons or anything crazy. If I lay on my side, dude, I am fire.
That's wild.
It's not too wild. It just sucks.
Well, this that you bring that up because I have this thing where also over the pandemic, I figured out that I cannot smoke too much marijuanas.
Okay.
Yes, I have a condition known as cannabis hypernesis syndrome. You heard of
What the
that?
hell is that?
What the hell is that? That's what my doctor said that. I said, what the hell are you talking about?"
Hypernesis?
Little
Yes.
CHAS.
Yep, exactly. And what it is like basically I have like a threshold.
Okay.
And if I smoke concentrates like the kids are doing these days,
The good stuff. That OG Henny Low Kush.
too much of that, and my body just thinks that I'm overdosing on something,
Oh,
and so I vomit profusely.
damn it, man.
Yes,
Like projectile, like.
it's not necessarily projectile. It's just more like I can't drink water.
Oh my God.
It's just so I sat down with my doctor in like what was it, January 21, 22? It was probably 22.
Okay.
But I was like, I had been to the ER after Floyd Fest.
Damn it, dude. You went to the ER for weed?
I was vomiting.
You were dying.
I was vomiting.
Okay.
I hadn't eaten for days.
Okay, that might have been, yeah.
Because I was vomiting.
Okay.
And then didn't get a follow-up appointment. I just was like,
I'm better.
I'm a tough guy.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. That was a doozy. And
We're
then
back.
went on, and New Year's Eve, I went to a concert and had another Floyd Fest-like binge.
Okay.
And came back, and then like the week after that, I was sick again. And then I got an appointment with my doctor, and the doctor was like, "So you mean to tell me that after Floyd Fest, you had this same episode after New Year's, and you're trying to tell me that you don't drink, and all you do is smoke, and that you're going to tell me that these two big party things happened, and it's not marijuana?" And basically, I was like, "Well, can you get me into another doctor and see if we can figure something else out?"
I don't need you questioning me right now, honestly.
But yeah, and but I haven't had the issue recently, but I've also cut out the concentrates.
So it's just like the good high THC level concentrates.
Yes.
So if you smoke some dirty doo-doo,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Well, I mean, even if it's not even dirty, if it's just like flour,
Yeah.
is fine.
Okay.
And so
I wonder what that is. What does that do? Is there any like real explanation? Your body just goes, nah, we're good. Poltergeist.
well, pretty much, but it's something that's brand new because we haven't had like this before.
Oh yeah, I guess we haven't had a last 5 years probably.
Yeah, if 5 to 10 if you're in
Yeah.
California,
Yeah.
you know, and lucky. But yeah, so like apparently it's big with my demographic. Dudes in their 30s that live alone and have nothing better to do.
We're looking at this study here, and white males
Long hair, you
issues with paying utilities seem to come up more than often. We're not getting paid for this evaluation either.
But yeah,
I'm glad you didn't die.
yeah. But it was kind of funny talking to my doctor about weed because like I go fishing a lot. That's one of the things I mentioned earlier. But she was talking about like situations where I would smoke, and she's like, "Well, surely you only do it after work." And I was like,
Stand by.
Well, yeah, but like occasionally I have some on the river. And she's like, "Oh, so you're bank fishing?" I was like, "Well, I fish from a kayak." She's like, and then it's like when you can tell like somebody that's never had a puff of a cigarette.
Yes. Cuts the sugar shy.
Yeah, and she's like, "Are you sure you're okay to be out there impaired on a kayak?" And I was like, "I've got videos of me like dancing on this boat."
Lady, you don't know my kind. She has experienced nothing.
Yeah, you should have been there the time I ceremoniously took mushrooms on the kayak.
Ceremoniously.
Yes, you have to do it ceremoniously or it will be a bad trip.
Dang, explain that.
It's just a joke.
It's just part of the deal.
It's just a joke.
But it's true. Every time somebody talks about doing that, they're like, so I was with the family and we had a really hard time and I went outside and I took my shirt off. And you're like, why? Just chill, man.
No, I went to a concert and I thought I was going to take a nap in the middle of the concert at set break. So I went out to the car and took my shirt off. I turned the radio up as loud as I could and was dancing violently in the car with my shirt off. And then I decided to go back into the concert.
Damn, dude. Yes.
That's what goes on with me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Why was the dancing violent? What were you listening to?
I'm not 100% sure because I was like blackout napping.
I was blacking.
Yeah. I don't know. We might want to cut that one.
Blapping.
Yeah. But I was definitely like, I thought I was just like, but
in all reality,
I was like,
raging. Dang, dude. So this, we might have had him on last week with Chris and John.
A slight misstep in scheduling, but we'll be right back.
Hey, can we FaceTime somebody?
So the reason we brought you here, Zach,
This is
waiting on my family to show up, and this is like an intervention. Like we're gonna get all the fun drug stories out, and then we're gonna get to the sad ones.
your doctor is currently getting your kayak from your apartment and hiding it. No more kayaking on the shrooms.
No.
Your family would have been here, but they're a little late. They had to grab the bucket and take a shower.
They were trying to drop off a check at the bank so they could pay their utilities.
They had to roll the coins. Take them to the coin star. They'll be here shortly.
Yeah.
Uber permitting.
They missed the 5:30 bank window. They're at home praying that they can make the taxi up here.
Jeez, man. So what's next for you, man? Like, what do you see? What do you think is going to take the comedy for you to the next level and in this area? Like, what do you think it needs?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So what I'm doing with that is like just throwing spaghetti at a wall.
Okay.
What I do is I spend my days emailing breweries.
Okay.
And like, I'm presuming that they will have at least a little bit of a crowd. And most of the breweries that I look at, I'm like, all right, would they have music? Would they have the kind of music that I would go see?
Yeah.
And so I do spend a lot of the days getting rejected, but like eventually I'm going to have to figure out a way to get traveling and get this comedy show to as many people as possible. And eventually I want to move to a bigger city.
I gotcha.
I had a call with a guy that bought a house telling jokes a couple weeks ago. And he said, dude, you can do great things producing in Blacksburg.
Yeah.
You will be loved all around Blacksburg. You might even be loved in Wytheville all the way to Bristol, all the way up to Lynchburg. And that's great. And I feel like I can get that done.
Yeah.
but I need to go to like, I don't know, Austin,
Yeah.
Atlanta,
Nashville, Asheville.
Yeah, Asheville is on my map right now. I have somebody in Asheville that I want to travel down there soon. It's just like I need to get to a bigger place so that like I can take this comedy to another level. That's what I want to do, and that's
Yeah. So is comedy like music at all, to where you could get a crew and kind of present it as like a billing, like, or is it kind of like a loner thing?
yes and no,
Okay.
and yes and no.
Okay.
In the way that when the guys from Philly came down, there was 3 guys on the road.
Okay.
And when he pitched the show to me, he said, look, if you put me and these 2 guys up, we don't care. Whatever, we can do, we'll get done.
Yeah. Pull that in just a little bit closer.
I got you.
Thank you.
And so you have that sometimes, but also there's guys that show up and they're like, we need 3 people to open. And it just depends on what your brand is. And I love everybody around here. My brand is very different from everybody else's. I don't know if we will always be able to travel together, because I love everybody and I'll take, we all got each other's back. We'll go wherever anybody goes.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it's going to end up being all bros at my shows.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be like the dudes that like the bad stuff. The dudes that,
Yeah.
the dudes that are in their cars dancing crazy on uncontrolled microdoses.
You are your demographic.
Yes. Yeah. But we don't know. We're such a young scene that we're just literally throwing spaghetti at a wall.
Yeah. But that's cool though. Like, to me, the grassroots movement of it and trying and being, it's like the punk rock scene back in the day. Like, being at the roots of that in a place that it's never really seen that type of movement or that type of thing, you can sculpt that shit, dude. If you and your crew and, like Derek and his dudes, man, y'all can really, put something together.
Yeah. And, man, it's been so much fun because you can fail and people don't know what it is.
Yeah.
People are like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We did a thing recently. Another podcast I really like is a national, really big podcast. It's called Kill Tony.
Yeah. I like Kill Tony. They just go up and.
So, you do
Yeah.
you do your minute of stand up and then you get interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this Virginia Tech comedy conglomerate, I had put on some comics from out of town at Longway.
Okay.
And somebody had said something that pushed a line. And the guys was like, well, we don't need a clean show, but we don't need it to be as bad as the last one. So my idea was like, hey, let's do Kill Tony with the comedy conglomerate, the comedy club.
Yeah.
Perfect. We did that. I thought it was a total flub. I thought like you know how if you produce something, once you look at it, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, you see everything wrong with it.
Yes.
Yes.
But the audience loves it.
And that's the thing. It's the same with the podcast. Like, I see every miscue. I see every color that's weird. I see everything that I want to change next time. Nobody else sees that shit.
Exactly.
99.9% of the people are just like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you guys did something like Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Did you do it once?
We did it once. And
Okay.
I'm going to try and do that about every other time we go up there, and just try and have young comedians up that will, just what Tony does. He says he put up young comedians to expose them, and I'm going to improv with them, and hopefully they learn improv with me.
Yeah.
That's more or less what I'm doing it as.
Yeah.
Because God bless these kids, but they're too nice. They can't roast. They're too nice.
Yep. Yep.
But
And that is a like you go back to the old Comedy Central roasts and stuff like that, and some of those things where they were like knife in, dude.
Yeah.
That shit I love, man. That is an art form, like a complete art form.
Oh,
that
totally.
not anybody can just, boop, I've got it, and just compute it and then just put them on blast. You know what I mean?
I don't like doing it, but one of my favorite things to do is sit with like comedians before a show and be like, yo, this dude just walked in the bar. He's J. Cole cuts.
Yeah.
Some, just like Eminem's just walked in. This fat dude with, fat dude looks like Eminem.
I got you.
Yeah, something like that.
It's fun, man.
Yeah,
just rolling with it. And just like we just did. We just had a freaking whoever the grandkid was, the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. To me, I don't know.
Good old fashioned picking.
Dude.
Bullying helped a lot of people.
Oh, it did.
I don't know why we want to do away with it in schools.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, listen, the problem is
it's like microdosing. It's like acid.
Yeah.
You take too much and your kid's going to end up like thinking they're orange juice.
That's true. It is true.
You don't take enough and they think they're orange juice.
Still.
Yeah.
Just concentrate.
Yeah.
Pulp free.
Exactly.
But my thing is, it's just like you were saying, we're talking about bullying stuff. It's the thin skin of that people have now. Nobody can take a joke because when I was growing up, I was a skater. I got picked on, but I gave it right back to them. You know what I mean? It's just, you learn, and your parents should tell you, dude, do something.
I was the fat kid.
You were fat?
I was, yeah.
Like thick or like?
I mean, I was like thick till 2017, to be honest with you.
No way. Diabetic, like diabetes?
Hey, I tell you, you should see some of the sweet treats I put down. You would think, but
shout out Hostess.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme,
girlfriend,
Pumpkin.
Little Debbie.
Yeah, my wife.
Man, put some money into that girl.
Keep her name out your mouth,
Keep
but keep them fudge rounds going in, baby.
Yes. Yeah, my mouth is full. So, why aren't you fat now?
I think a lot of it has to do with the hypernesis, and I've really just been more focused on. I turned like, okay, this is gonna be weird. I have to remember. Hold on.
You don't eat as much.
Well, there was a thing that happened when I was like 23.
Okay, how old are you now?
I'm 30.
2030.
I was about to be 29, but
That's eyesight.
I was actually 30.
Okay.
I was about to be 29, but actually I turned 30
Okay.
this February. And when I was like 23, my granddad got diagnosed with lung cancer and got it removed, and now ticks along just as fast as he ever did.
Okay.
But then, like 2 years later, my dad got diagnosed with colon cancer. And so that was like a boom. Like,
yeah,
you got to figure some stuff out. So, like, it's been more like, instead of going to a steakhouse and being like, well, I'll have the chili and fries and a steak, it's been like, I need a,
excuse me.
I need a salad,
and chili and fries.
No, it's been like a salad and steak and baked potato.
Okay.
And ice cream after.
So you're living within boundaries now.
Yeah.
Ish, right?
Yeah, because one thing I do love is food.
Oh, dude, I'm a foodie, man.
Yes. And have you been to Mama Jean's barbecue?
No.
Okay. Figure out a time that you can get there early and on time. They're open 11 to 3, Wednesday through Sunday. It's on the backside of Roanoke in an Airstream trailer.
Nice.
But it is Southern Living rated
Is it like meat and three type situation, or is it just like a barbecue joint?
It's a rotating menu.
Oh, I like it already.
And so they usually got pulled pork, brisket, and like 9 times out of 10 when I go there, there's you can order ribs, like a whole rack of ribs or a half rack. But man, that rotating menu is where it's at.
The
last time I went down there, they had like cheesesteaks and hot chicken sandwiches. And follow at the Mullet Influencer because I'm about to rank their menu because they followed me online the other day. That's another thing I wanted to say. Like they're cool as can be. This dude knows his way around a barbecue sandwich, like Mama Jean's.
That's awesome, dude.
But like that's my favorite thing in the world is eating.
Okay.
But I've just been like, it's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So it's
it's a real thing, man. I mean, like that's like the number one killer. Like it's not obviously barbecue, but
it's
overindulgence and heart disease and diabetes and butt cancers, all that stuff. Has a definite link to inflammation and indulgence.
Yeah, and that's just one thing is like I figured out that I can do it.
Yeah,
but I don't have to overdo it all the time.
Yeah, it's like everything.
Yeah,
moderation.
Yeah,
except for LSD and mushrooms, right?
Yeah,
those
exactly.
Man, you do them or you don't.
I mean it's gonna be one Saturday a month, right?
That's perfect. I don't remember if I don't remember 12 days a year.
No, what is it?
Dude, I would die. Like, I have never done shit because I was born addicted.
Right.
Like, and I know it's on like Donkey Kong if I ever do anything like that. So I've just stayed clear. I've always stayed clear. A little bit of CBD, a little bit of Mary Jane back in the day.
Right.
But now I'm just, I'll have a little nip here and there, but it's, I just worry. I would fall off the charts and probably that's all I'd talk about. Probably I'd be like Joe Rogan and DMT.
Here, I have such the addictive personality.
Yes, me too.
But I also have the brain that's, I don't know if it's like, I hate to be like, I have the brain, but like, my brain's like, dude, your power is going to get cut off if you go buy that again.
Back to your mama's side of the family kicking in.
It's like, I have this like really good contrast with my family. Like, there's my mom's side of the family, they like to party. My dad's side of the family, they like to go to church.
Okay.
And so, like, I have this weird thing in my brain that's like, you should try it over and over and over again. But remember where to stop.
Yeah.
Just remember where to stop. You know where to push it, but remember where to stop.
Yeah. I think the Lord gave you that puke thing.
And that's I think that puke
that's your dad's side of the family gave you that puke thing.
The puke thing is like, well, you know what?
That's the off switch.
You can have a nip. But you tokes, you can't have the liquor of token. You can't be token no liquor.
Can't have that high breed. You can only drink. You can only do that mutt.
Yeah, you just get Bud Lights.
Yep, that's hilarious, man. So as far as the comedy scene around here, if anybody wants to see comedy, is there like a go-to predictable day of the week that it's always happening? No. Okay. Perfect.
If somebody around here wants to know when comedy is happening, the best way to do it is at the Mullet Influencer, at, any of the comedians around here.
Yeah.
But mainly at the Mullet Influencer because
you post a lot of that stuff, man.
If I have any friends that are there, I'm putting a poster online. If I have, maybe I might want to, about a music poster.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it up online.
Yeah.
I I've just got to the point where I'm like, here's everything that, like, online. If you follow me, here's what I like. Here's everything. So Tuesdays, Sharky's night, and Tuesdays in Radford, we'll say.
Okay.
Thursdays in Blacksburg. But we got the last Saturday of the month at Lost in Taste, which is right down in Christiansburg.
Yeah, we were talking about the old cracky Denny's.
Yeah. It's really, I can't make the joke there, but I really love telling jokes at a place where prostitution was covered up by pancakes.
Dude, it was happening.
Yeah.
I think they were actually manufacturing methamphetamines in Denny's.
I hope so.
I think that was the case.
I really.
Derek and I were talking about that, and I think, I think that was really the case. Like, no shit.
I hope so, because that's just great.
Because not only is it like the line level employee, but the management is involved at that point. Like, it's not, you can't just fly under the radar.
Yeah, it's like Epstein level.
Oh, it's full. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
there's a sign up sheet.
Everybody knows there's flight logs.
Yes. There are shifts and young kids involved. And nudity. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Meth. It's the price you pay.
It is. It's methed up.
It's methy.
It is. Well, dude, thank you so much for making your way on here, my friend.
No problem.
I appreciate it. I really, really want to try to drag my wife out to one of these comedy shows. But here's the problem. If she comes, she will tell me I can never do it because she doesn't like it when I talk the way I actually talk. And
she's gonna
that's
love.
okay.
She's gonna love my set.
I bet. I've watched your Smurf thing from the other night. I was like, oh, that's hilarious to me.
Yeah,
It is funny. But I really, I'm gonna see if we can't get a babysitter and make something happen. I told Derek too. He was like, dude, just get up on a mic and have some fun. And I'm like, dude, I got some soul searching and some figuring out to do before I do that.
His freaking story about coming on stage and his sister just being like, go do it. I was like, I wish that was mine, but mine was like, nope, you're very bad. You're very bad. You're very bad. You're okay. You're very bad. You're very bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys had polar opposites. You had Derek had the strong support of the family, and your dad was like, the Lord gave you puke.
No, I didn't even tell my family that I was doing stand-up comedy until I was getting paid for it.
Okay. So you get paid? That's awesome.
I mean,
$1 too.
I would
tip bucks.
It's filling up the gas tank, getting back and forth.
That's cool.
It's not like, we're not lighting the world on fire. But yeah, I definitely was like, I did not mention to them that, like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to see a band, guys. Why are you crying after a band? What's wrong? They played very sad songs. They were mean to me. Yeah.
All my favorite songs are sad ballads.
Yeah.
Well, man, thanks again, my friend.
No problem.
And we need to, I'm going to hook up with you and talk to you about, I'd like to get involved somehow with, even if you do that Kill Tony thing again, doing some sort of podcast. I was talking to Derek about it, man. I think it would be cool to get something live involved to where we can broadcast and do like a YouTube, like live something cool. So, and I don't know what it is. We just need to brainstorm, but I absolutely love the vibe. I love the comedy. I love all that stuff. And I've got what I've got. So I feel like it could,
Yeah. If we have, like, none of us have anything to do with Twitch. And so, like,
yeah,
the fact that you're like, hey, Twitch is here,
yeah,
hey, bring it on. If you know how to do that, we'll figure out a way to get, if it's just a comedy show that we can bring to the people. It's funny because being in the comedy business, people are like, have you ever done online comedy? Because that's like something that sprung up over the pandemic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, it's right here and I'm right here.
Yeah.
And so, like, I haven't made it to that yet. I'm still stealing Wi-Fi, so I don't think I can.
I don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah, I don't have the bandwidth to do it. But if I get like two grandmas living side by side, I think I could.
Mm-hmm. Which is ideal in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
By God.
And by God, and pot pies.
I do like a pot pie.
But yeah, it's one thing that people really like is to be able to just sit at home and do it now.
Yeah.
Because as much as people, want to go and do stuff, people are still kind of like
Leery.
even if they're not leery, they're like, we have kids, we have this, we have that.
Yep.
And so like Twitch stream one, let's freaking do it. Let's figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, dude, to me, it's good and bad for all the industries how readily available live streaming is and stuff like that, because then you don't get asses in the seats and you're like, oh my gosh, but then you look and it's just like, well, there's 50 people watching.
Yeah.
It's like, does that count? Put a Patreon, get the money that way and do it that way.
Exactly. That's the perplexing thing about my joke is like the Smurf one.
Yes.
30 people saw.
Okay.
But then on TikTok, 700 people saw. And then on Facebook, 500 or, whatever's going on right now saw.
Yeah.
And like,
it's a weird world, man.
it is so weird to be like, even, I go fishing out in like the Buchanan. And so we were going in this gas station one time. And I just posted a clip that had went like semi-viral.
Okay.
I've never had anything that was like 10,000 plays. It was always like most, I think it's like 3,000.
Okay.
And this may have been like 2,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was walking into a gas station in Buchanan that's just past Roanoke.
Yep.
And I'm in like Daisy Dukes, like going fishing, like legit not dressed for anything. And some dude's like looking at me really funny. I'm like, what's up, dude? Are you good? And he's like, pulled his phone out and he had the clip on his phone. He's like, is that you? And I was like,
wow.
That's how the internet works.
Yes.
That's how the internet works.
Precise example. That's
And
weird, isn't it?
I was like, yeah, that's me. He's like, well, would you tell me a joke? I was like, no, I'm going fishing. Bye.
No, dude. I'm off the clock.
Later, man. But I was like, go scroll the page for some more. But
Dude, it's wild. Like literally anything, you see all these people TikTok and YouTube and social media famous and influencers and all this stuff, and you're like, it's really possible. You know? It really is. I started getting checks from YouTube, like for my channel, and I had mediocre views. But I have 3,000 subscribers and all this stuff. And I remember getting my first AdSense check and it was like $175. And I was like, I can do this. I made $175 doing this. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Stuff I love.
That's like telling jokes. The first like 50 that was ever laid in my hands was like a heart attack.
Yeah.
You know it from being in music. It's
yes.
Like anytime you get paid to do something you enjoy, you're like, what? This is wrong.
Yeah. So we're good.
Yeah.
I don't owe you anything.
You're not going to stab me in the back later?
Yeah. It's wild, man. Well, I hope you get some great success, man.
Yeah.
I do. I appreciate your different approach to things.
Yeah. No,
and
I'm not going to lie. When I was going to say something early on, but I'm glad that we've come together now. I was like,
yeah.
Man, he starts his podcast with the Pledge of Allegiance. I was like in 5th grade, like, why are we all doing this at the same time in school? Like, this is kind of almost weird, but it's like I enjoy it because we're all here together. But like, I was just like thrown back to being like a child and like
just wondering,
like, is this weird? But you know, it's like we're all different.
Yeah. So for me, it is, I did a lot for our troops, like with USO and Air Force Entertainment. And my father was in, and I was in law enforcement. Right. And to me, I've just always had, it's more about that just draw for the people and the sacrifice and the history and the, just the love for what we should be not necessarily what we are currently,
Right.
but for what we should be and the values and the standards and stuff like that. So it is a reminder for me and hopefully for other people that it's like, hey man, we're still here.
Right.
These values are still here. This thought process is still here. We try to take it away, but it's, I'm going to keep pushing it and pushing it.
And to the same token, I still have that half of my brain that's like, yeah, you shouldn't take that 5 strips of LSD. You just 3. I do have that. I do have that in my brain. Like, don't push it too much, Zach.
Don't do it too far.
I do have Daddy's side of the family. Dad was a Marine, and
Yeah.
I have that in my family too.
Yeah.
But I just like everything organized has been like weird to me, and now that it's weird that I'm organizing comedy.
I know, right? And that's what's odd is because I'm with you. Like, I don't trust shit and I don't believe shit per se.
Right.
It takes a lot for me to really buy into stuff. But what I do buy into are the numbers and the names that have sacrificed for where we're at.
Right.
I buy into that wholeheartedly. Whether it was on a good premise, bad premise, whatever it may have been, it was so that we can be the best damn country in the world.
Right.
And that's what it is. It doesn't dig. It's not like a political dig, a whatever dig. It's a
that's
love it or leave it dig.
right. That's why I didn't say anything. Is like, I don't know, like, am I being weird? But like at the same time, you've addressed it. Like I do look at things differently, but
Yeah.
and that's just everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you get rejected, you just got to keep
Rocking,
keep
man.
on rocking. Because the thing is, we're all different. That's the problem
Yeah. That's the problem and the solution.
and the solution.
Because if we can be different and do it in a civilized manner, that's what's going to make us great. That's what's going to make us strong and
Right.
continue to be able to do comedy and have podcasts and do stuff like this. Because when I look at other places and other situations where it's like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You can't talk bad about a president without potentially dying.
Yeah. Much less say nipple.
Yes. Way worse.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, just cut your nipple right off.
Dude, we were in, I was in, oh my gosh, Bahrain, right? Which is Middle East, kind of, Dubai, all that. And we were doing a Air Force entertainment show, and I was staying in a really nice hotel. And of course, fish out of water, right?
Yeah.
And just the crazy looks and stuff like that. But I get on and I'm checking everything, and there are restrictions. I can't check my email. I can't, the when you go on, it's like the homepage is like honoring the whatever of the country. And it's like, you can't look at anything. They are like completely controlling you.
Yeah.
Like everything you do, everything you see, what you eat, curfews, like it's wild, man. And it's one of the richest countries in the entire world, but you are controlled. It's like, wow, gosh, if that doesn't, to get out of the comfort of do whatever, say whatever,
Right.
and go somewhere where it's like, you'll die.
Yeah, it is.
You'll die. It makes you appreciate that.
No.
You know what I mean?
And to and I don't ever say anything bad.
Yeah.
I love this country.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Yep.
But at the same time, steel doesn't get burnt by jet fuel, does it?
That's true. See, that's the thing is like that shit's funny. And I don't think it does. I think we are so freaking golly, there's so much shit we don't know. There's so much cover up. There's so much money. There's so much damn collusion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This shit's real. And we know about this much of it. There's so much shit that's happening. People are in pockets.
It's wild to like be on. It's one of the last things I'll try and say.
No.
Since we've tried to wrap up 3 or 4 times.
No,
but
it's fine, man. I love it.
We're traveling and doing all this comedy, and you talk about like just how much we know. Pay attention the next time you drive 100 miles on the interstate.
Okay.
how many friggin' houses you pass.
Oh, gosh.
Do you ever think about that?
No.
How many people you were passing when you're driving down the road?
No.
I drove to Richmond the other day, and there was a wreck on 81. So we drove, Route 11, 460 most of the way out there. And instead of seeing, the typical couple of houses that are going by you on 81,
Yeah.
it was like, man, I'm passing every trailer park, thousands and thousands, and just like melting my brain. How many people I'm just driving past?
Yeah.
And I'm just going through one state.
Yeah.
But that's just so.
It blows your mind. So I
How-
used to get wrapped in my brain and try to put myself, like I'd see somebody and I'd be like, what is their life? Where are they going? What are they doing? You know what I mean?
That's a really fun improv game to play with comics.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just like even with me and you, be just like sitting at whatever restaurant,
Yeah.
Rolling Bones, and just be like, the next guy that walks in there, we're gonna make his story up
Okay.
and figure out, but just to do it, piece it together in your own head.
Yeah.
Sit there with a comic and be like, just make up the worst story about how his grandma put out cigarettes on his knee.
Yes. Been there. Yeah.
yeah. But that's a fun. That is a wild brain exercise that I do a lot too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I just do it naturally. Like I try to, and for some reason it started when I was young. When we would drive and I'd see people in cars, I used to do like the license plate game, bingo or whatever, because I was lame. And then I started, my brain would get, as I was developing, I was like, man, I wonder what they do. I wonder where they're from. I wonder what their parents do. I wonder, and then it just evolved into like, now I try to, you can almost stereotype people into like, oh, he's wearing board shorts. Oh, those are Crocs. Yep, he's got a boat.
His name is Kyle or Brad.
Brad.
And let me see here. Let's go down the line. Let's see. Oh, yep, frat T-shirt.
Yep. He's got a Top Golf hat on.
Yep, and a koozie over what appears to be a Michelob Ultra.
Oh, he's turning around and grasping his hand out.
Yep.
Oh, yep, there's Michelle.
Yep.
Here she comes.
There's Michelle.
She has a White Claw.
Yep. They're gonna go down to the next bar and just hop all day long.
Oh my gosh, they are praying for 90s hip hop.
Yeah, and good news is if they make it 2 bars down, they have a DJ that's playing nothing but the 90s hits.
And her biggest thing growing up, I knew her mom really well, but she, growing up, she was allergic to like oatmeals and any sort of grains. So she has to be real careful. That's why she has the White Claw, because apparently they have like a gluten thing. So
Yep.
she's really hypersensitive to that.
Well, that's good because the next bar with that DJ is nothing but it's a microbrewery. So she's gonna probably have to pack a White Claw or 2 to get down there.
Yeah.
And but he's gonna have a really good time because they've got like 9% IPAs, and he's gonna pound them and get
Rad Brad coming out.
Yeah, Rad Brad. He's gonna be belligerent by the time that she's like starting to come into her hangover state because she can't drink at that bar.
Yeah.
And that's going to cause a real rift at their house that night.
She's going to be super aware of her body too, because it causes swelling and bloating. So not only has Brad pissed her off, but now she's self-conscious about her bloat. So she doesn't have as much kind of gall and audacity to tell Brad off, because now she's self-conscious. It's going to be an interesting night.
Yep. And actually, I'm looking now. I think Brad, after the brewery with the good DJ,
Yeah.
he's going to go to one bar and find his Coke dealer.
Oh man.
Yeah. Then
Stefano.
you know what's going to happen then. He's going to hit the shots.
Yeah, once he starts doing that,
And
it's over. He has that bracelet too. The bro bracelet? It's kind of like, it's ocean material. It's not really seashells, but it's like, it might be conch shells.
Yeah. It's something.
It makes a noise when he gets fired up and when he hits Michelle.
Yeah.
Brad, fine. And Brad always walks backwards to the next bar because he's got such a great story to tell Michelle.
Yep.
So he's like walking backwards. Like,
And in the dark, he just whips his dick out and pisses.
he does. He's okay with it
Yeah,
too. And
yeah.
it's usually on wood. You know how when you're like walking to bars, there's like like a boardwalk or something?
Yep.
And it's got little stains.
Yep.
Brad and Michelle.
And usually, like, boardwalks on top of something, like at the beach.
Yeah,
He's probably peed on a couple people.
definitely.
Yeah.
Homeless.
Yep.
That have been to the place for coffee and got clothes
Ursula's,
and
shout
then
out
got
Ursula.
peed on.
Yeah.
Damn it. Those are new clothes.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Zach, we love you, man. Thank you so much for making it out. We have got to do it again. Brad and Michelle, we hope that you've
Yeah.
enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah.
We hope that, what was that kid's name?
Johnny, Brad and Michelle and their boy, little Johnny. I hope you guys,
Yeah. Hope he heals up.
hope y'all get to the women's shelter and the, you know, whatever you need to.
It's a rough life, guys. Just remember, we here at Commotion Podcast, we love you and we accept you.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Peace.